I've got something called synesthesia, gentlemen. What that means is I perceive sound not only with my ears, but I perceive it in my mind's eye, as it were, as colors and textures, even sometimes fragrances, aromas, not to put too precious of a spin on it, but it really is a thing, synesthesia. And this picture of the Congressional Medal of Honor, this photo in particular, with its rather muted colors and somewhat grainy texture, somewhat adequately reflects the color and texture of the outlaw country vinyl sound that I've worked quite hard to achieve. But until very recently, I have fallen short of my full range of objectives. Somewhat short. That is, I want to take this core color palette, this core texture, and I'd like to embed it or ensconce it in a tapestry that is polished and cinematic, with a great sense of space and depth. Now, I achieved that to some extent with certain of the mixes, but I was never entirely satisfied. I was still missing something. There's no tutorials that I can find on it, because it isn't really the sort of thing that a great many people are doing. There's one guy in particular who is legendary for doing it exceedingly well. And, well, I've made a bit of a breakthrough recently. And so that's what I'm about to play for you here. First, I want to show you what this looks like. What this looks like. This is what getting near the end of a project looks like for one song. This is Holding the Line for Whitesburg. The second of two project files. Let me just explain to you real quick. Let me just give you the lay of the land here. Here are 5 tracks in this arrangement, in this mix. There's Brian and his guitar, number 1. There's the lap steel, number 2. There's the bass guitar, track number 3. Track number 4 is King Kong, my favorite Strat. And track number 5 is the drum part. These 5 tracks all need to be individually leveled and EQ'd and treated both individually and interdependently. That's what mixing is all about. These 5 tracks all output into the master bus right here for final processing. On the way to the master bus, the signals of these 5 channels or tracks take these detours. These are all detours called parallel buses. This is where a great deal of magic happens. You see, it's a blending of the track or channel signal with the parallel processing that is going on simultaneously in however many buses that particular signal has been routed through on its way to the 2 bus or mix bus or master bus or master channel, whatever you want to call it. This is where a great deal of nuance is achieved. But I was missing one very big piece of the puzzle, and I found it. These 2 buses right here. A tool called Density by Variety of Sound. Anyone else who might be watching this, who might be curious what I'm on about, there it is. And the other thing that I finally figured out is to put my tape machine, my virtual tape machine, also in a parallel bus and not on the mix bus. That virtual tape machine being the extraordinary Chow tape model. All right. I'm just showing you, gentlemen, this so that you get some idea of how much goes into this. I'm not making excuses. I'm not asking for your sympathy. I'm just telling you, this is very involved. And the more I do it, the more I figure it out, the more streamlined my workflow becomes, and the better I get at it. These days, I'm basically living like a monk. I do not consume entertainment. I tend to matters of bodily survival. I take care of my marriage and my livelihood. I sleep. And when I dream about audio work. These are all automations. This is what gives the mix movement and life. Each one of those little dots is a decision. Sometimes those decisions take time. Sometimes it's a matter of trial and error until you get it right. This is for just 5 tracks. Other projects have more, upwards of a dozen. I do intend to go through every song on the album and apply to it to some extent the realizations that I've come to in working on this song. Okay? Enough of my yapping. I'm going to go ahead and play the song. I couldn't really find any good pictures to go with this. I'm going to use one that Brian sent me. He says it's from Whitesburg. It's Brian approved. I tried to find other ones, and we couldn't be sure if we were looking at Union or Confederate soldiers, or I don't know. This is the best picture I could come up with. I'm going to superimpose it on some meters bouncing along. All right. This is a benchmark. I'm not saying it's 100% done, but it's a benchmark. And thank you for your patience once again. I hope this video does find you well. Pause and be right back.
Taste the morning dew from the mountain. A dense fog rises up from my home. Been watching over Whitesburg and the townsmen. No, I'm not standing here alone. It's been a couple of years. Hell, I don't know. It feels like more. The changing seasons bring me back. I can feel that damn bloody war. It took my uncle Elijah, we laid him to rest, and an old friend from childhood, a warrior that was blessed. They rode in, we rode out, fight enemies and friends. It was time to back 'em down. That was a time when we were all dodging lead. I'm holding the line for Whitesburg, holding it for the Rebs. Brother fought brother, father fought son. The angel of death carried his own damn gun. I can hear the river crying from its blood-stained rocky bed. The sound of soldiers dying by black powder and lead. Echoes from these battlegrounds run deep into our veins. Walk among the dead that fought in the grave. Took my uncle Elijah, laid him to rest, and an old friend, childhood, a warrior that was time to back 'em down. That was a time when we were all dodging lead, holding the line for Whitesburg, holding it for the Rebs. That was a time when we were all dodging lead. We're holding the line